Welcome to Finding Peace, also known as America Seeking Quiet. Thank you for joining us today. Every week, we step away from the noise of daily life to gently reflect on stories that touch our everyday living, not just to understand what is happening, but to discover what truly matters for the way we live. Today's episode, The Average American Household Budget, what our monthly expenses quietly reveal about the way we live. For many Americans, inflation is no longer just an abstract word on the news. It's felt every time we walk into the grocery store, every time we pay rent, and every time we fill up the gas tank. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household now spends about $6,545 each month, roughly $78,500 a year, on basic living expenses. Housing remains the largest cost at around $2,186 per month, taking up nearly one-third of the total budget. Transportation follows at about $1,113, and food at approximately $847. Families with children spend significantly more, while single-person households spend less. Of course, these are only averages. Real numbers vary greatly depending on where you live, family size, and personal circumstances. Still, they give us an honest snapshot of daily life for many people today. But beyond the numbers lies a quieter, deeper story. When housing consumes nearly a third of our income, a home becomes more than shelter. It becomes one of life's biggest financial responsibilities. Transportation reminds us of the uniquely American reality. In this vast country, a car is often a necessity, not a choice. And rising grocery prices show us that inflation doesn't stay on Wall Street. It reaches straight to our dinner table. Yet the average is never the ideal. Every household has different priorities and realities. Many financial planners recommend zero-based budgeting, the simple but powerful idea that every dollar should have a clear purpose: paying bills, saving for the future, giving to others, or enjoying life's small pleasures. When we spend with intention, we gain clarity, and clarity often brings peace of mind. Perhaps the most meaningful number isn't $6,545. It's the quiet question behind it. What does enough actually mean? Some people earn well above average and still feel they're falling behind. Others live on much less, yet find real contentment because they've learned to separate what they want from what they truly need. Money helps us build a life, but it rarely teaches us how to live one. In a world where prices keep rising, the most valuable thing we can protect is our sense of perspective. Not everything we can afford is something we need, and not everything that truly matters can be measured in dollars. There is a special kind of freedom that comes from living within our means, from knowing what enough is for us, and from gently resisting the pressure to compare our lives with others. Statistics help us understand society, but peace has never been an average. It begins the moment we can honestly answer one deeply personal question: what is enough for my life? Thank you for listening. Until next time, may you find peace in your home, in your heart, and in the ordinary moments of everyday life. If this reflection resonated with you, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What does enough mean to you in your current life? Have you ever made a big change to live more peacefully with less? What advice would you give to retirees or low-income families struggling with high costs in America? Your stories matter and may help many others. In our last episode, we explored the average American household budget and the quiet stories hidden behind those monthly expenses. Today, we continue that journey by looking at what happens when those pressures lead some people to make a life-changing decision. Today, we explore a quiet but increasingly common story, the quiet sorrow of leaving America. Every story begins somewhere. People leave their countries for many reasons. Some escape war, some flee poverty, others search for opportunity. For generations, millions looked toward the United States as the land of new beginnings. America was not just a country, it was a dream. But something unusual is happening now. An increasing number of Americans are packing their bags and leaving the United States, not for vacation or temporary work, but to start a new chapter of life somewhere else. This is no longer just a story about adventurous travelers or wealthy retirees. It is becoming a story about ordinary people, teachers, remote workers, families, and retirees who quietly ask themselves, could life be better somewhere else? One of those voices is Jen Barnett from Alabama. In 2024, she moved to Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. What started as a personal decision soon grew into something larger. She founded Expatsy, a company helping fellow Americans explore living abroad. The demand has grown dramatically, surprising even her. Behind these personal stories lies a deeper shift. For generations, the world asked, how do I get to America? Today, some Americans are asking the opposite. Should I stay? The reasons are varied. Rising cost of living, housing, healthcare, education, and retirement pressures. But beneath them often lies a quieter exhaustion, a desire for a slower life, a smaller community, a place where savings stretch further and where one can simply breathe again. This is not merely a story about geography. It is a story about what people believe a good life should look like. When people vote with their feet, they reveal something profound, not just about the country they leave, but about what they are searching for. A nation's true strength may not only be measured by its economy or power, but by a simpler question. When people have the freedom to choose, do they still choose to stay? And perhaps the deepest sorrow is not the act of leaving, but wondering whether the place you once called home still feels like home. In the end, what keeps us rooted is not a border or a flag, but the quiet feeling that we truly belong. If you're living in America and feeling that your monthly expenses have become overwhelming, especially if your income or retirement pension is $3,000 or less, then please listen to a real story from a friend of the program, Finding Peace. This person receives only $1,500 per month in retirement income. Yet for more than 2 years now, he has been living a peaceful, light, and deeply fulfilling life in Saigon, Vietnam. He rents a beautiful apartment in Phuc City, a lovely upscale area right by the Saigon River. The one-bedroom apartment, with a living room, kitchen, and private bathroom, costs just $800 per month. His monthly food expenses are around $300. That leaves him with about $400 each month for personal spending, small trips, or savings. A typical day for him looks like this. In the morning, he takes a peaceful 3-mile walk along the Saigon River for exercise. Then he stops at a riverside cafe for breakfast, just $2.50. After that, he returns home to write books. Sometimes he brings his laptop to a cafe by the river and writes for hours. In the afternoon, he either continues walking by the river or heads into central Ho Chi Minh City, which is only about 5 miles away. Everything I just shared is 100% true. This is my life, Calvin P. Tran. In the past 2 years, even with this modest income, I've managed to save enough to publish several books you see in the image. This story is not meant for comparison. It's simply to show a real possibility. Sometimes peace doesn't come from earning more money. It comes from finding a place where your money stretches further, where life moves at a gentler pace, and where your heart finally feels at home. There are many American retirees, low-income families, and people simply tired of the constant pressure who are quietly searching for a different way. And for some of them, a more peaceful life is possible, just as I have found mine. Thank you for listening. Until next time, may you find peace in your home, in your heart, and in the ordinary moments of everyday life. If today's story touched you, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about the idea of retiring abroad? What kind of life are you truly looking for? Are you considering any big changes for your future? Your stories matter and may inspire many others who are quietly asking the same questions. See you next week. Take care.